Merry New Year! Happy 2026. Welcome to the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, streaming on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel and, of course, on Roku via the BS3 Network. I am KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Join me as we have fun on day one of year 2026. Welcome once again to this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. I am, of course, KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. The Takeover is brought to you by, and they're going to renew, hopefully, the African Center of Wellbeing, Bayou Beat, Be Elite Basketball, Byron Riley CPA, the Pinto-Leon Law Firm, Pruitt's in the Heights, Star Pizza, Tejas Brewery, United Sports and Entertainment, VIP Realty, and the Saxenian family. As you're watching this first show of year 2026 in the year of our Lord, you're watching on YouTube as well as on Roku, courtesy of BS3 TV. If you have a Roku streaming device, just download BS3 TV. If you don't have it, get it. Or you can just go to BS3Network.com or BS3TVLive.com, where you can watch more shows like this live or shows on demand, courtesy of BS3. Going to talk, you can rehash year 2025, which was an awful year for me. Hopefully that'll be one of the last brutal years I have for me as I'm here on this earth. Looking forward to 2026, chopping down more of those big rocks with my colleagues like A.D. Moore, Adolphus A.D. Moore, and the AdMex Corner as he covers the Texans and the NFL. And, of course, my young brothers, Andy Yanez, Dayon Dunlap, and Robert Fluff McKeever. All of us are products of UH. We're on the growing popularity Let's Rage Coogs live stream shows, post-game shows. Last week or so, Andy Yanez posted the content that Pod Slamma Jamma and Let's Rage Coogs provided via the Cougs LSU Texas Bowl. Hundreds of thousands of views in just 1 week. And I can attest, part of that as well, a video I provided with Cougar tight end Tanner Kozio on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. Almost 6 figures as well. So join the ride, join us, partner with us. And we'll have a fun, successful, exciting year 2026. Going to play a few video clips, a couple from head coach Kelvin Sampson, but one also from women's basketball head coach Matthew Mitchell. And also want to play a brief clip from women's college basketball All-American Audi Crooks after she led the Iowa State Cyclones to an 80-62 win over the Cougs on Wednesday afternoon. The Cougs played well. Probably one of their best, considering the opponent, top 10 team, Houston's best performance in the young season. Well, not midway point of the season. So it's something to build upon for them. But Audi Crooks made her first 7 shots, missed her next 4, then finished the game making her last 10. so she finished the game 17 of 21 from the floor. 35 points. I think this is her 5th or 6th straight game scoring 30 or more this season. She's on a roll. She's on a tear. So we'll get to her comments. But I want to play again head coach comments, Matthew Mitchell's comments, his opening postgame comments after the Cougs' good performance, but it was still a loss. Hear what he has to say, and then we'll get into more discussion about Houston Cougs women's basketball, Cougs men's basketball. They get ready for a Big 12 opener this Saturday against Cincinnati. hear from Coach Sampson. Then we'll squeeze in some Big 12 American weekly honors. Rockets play in a few hours against the Brooklyn Nets on the road. And I will try, I'm hoping to have the first Let's Talk Houston Rockets show after tonight's game. Try to squeeze those in as available for the rest of the season. Going back to work, going back to school on Monday, so time will be limited again, and just trying to squeeze everything in as I can without wearing down, breaking down physically and mentally with the job and everything else I'm trying to do covering all these sports for the Houston Roundball Review. But first things first, comments, post-game comments from Houston's Matthew Mitchell.
Hats off to Iowa State. What a good team they have, and very, very impressed with their players. And Bill's one of the best coaches in the country, and they've got a really, really outstanding team. So I'm sure they will go on and have a great season. I thought our players really came back from the break after an extremely difficult loss to open conference season. I was so proud of how we came back after our break and really were not down, discouraged, defeated, and worked hard to get prepared for this game. And we just have to, right now, just continue to improve. And I thought that we did some good things in this game that show that we're improving. And that's what we want to do with our players here, develop our players and help our players get better day to day. And you can tell that it's made a difference that they've been here at Houston. And I really start to see some of our players rounding into better form. And that's exciting to see because that's something we work extremely hard here to help players get better, and you can see ours. That's happening right now in front of our eyes. So quick turnaround now. We're into the rhythm of conference season, and we will look for all the information that can help us get better from this one, learn from it, and then move forward and get ready for the next one.
There you go, some comments from head coach Matthew Mitchell after Houston's 80-62 home loss to top 10 ranked Iowa State on New Year's Eve. And it was their best performance. They have had improvement. They made improvement because on December 21st against West Virginia on the road, they lost 1-on-1-46 and committed 30-plus turnovers. Against Iowa State, they committed 12 and lost by only 18 to a top 10 team. So that is progress. Now we'll see what they do this Saturday on the road against Oklahoma State, and then back at home on Wednesday, January 7th against Kansas State. Doesn't get any easier in the Big 12 on women's side nor on the men's side. But my goal, still 2 Big 12 conference wins for this year's Coug team, and then get better, bring in better talent, a point guard. That spot, a true point guard, is definitely needed on this team going forward. We can talk about that. Give me your comments as I get more into it. Reminder, as comment from here. How are you doing? Merry New Year to you. Merry New Year. And they did defend Audi well. First half, I think Audi Crooks in the first half only took 6 shots. Then Houston, the lack of depth up front especially, kind of took its toll. Second half, she took 15. She took 15 shots. Again, she made her first 7 shots of the game, missed 4, her next 4, then finished the game making her last 10 to go 17 for 21 from the floor in the game. Audi Crooks, yes, she is a skilled, big post player. And once he gets it down that block, it's over. It's over. It's over. And Iowa State shot 50% from 3 yesterday, made 8 threes. So in Houston, doubled her. The guards made Houston pay. So pick your poison. You want to double team Audi Crooks? Iowa State makes threes. You want a single cover Audi Crooks? She'll go to work and get 30 on you. So, that's what it is. Pick your poison, and that's why Iowa State is one of the top teams in the country. Looking forward to seeing Iowa State and TCU play in Big 12 conference play competition So life is, hey, it's Big 12 basketball, and Iowa State, TCU is where Houston Cougars women's basketball aims to reach in a couple of years. They're not there yet, not by a long shot. But yesterday's performance is a step forward for them, so they need to build on it, play well Saturday on the road in Stillwater. Oklahoma State lost to Baylor and lost a 19-point lead to Baylor in the fourth quarter Wednesday. Lady Bears came back and won that game, I want to say by 9. So he trailed by 19, won by 9. I think that's right. So the Cowgirls won't be in a good mood when they face the Cougs on Saturday. But life in the Big 12, and it doesn't get any easier at all. So let's get into that. I want to touch on the schedules for everyone as soon as I find the slide here. Got a lot of info. Then I'll touch on Coach Sampson and his comments for what he said in a Zoom call on Wednesday as well. A lot of different things to discuss. So let's go into the schedule. And it's a big one. Let's start off with the Cougs and get that going right here for January. And let's see. Let me recap Saturday, December 1st. Let me just do that first. There we go. So as you know, just going to talk about the most recent performance. Houston's win by 9, 69-60 over Middle Tennessee. This is the men's team. After the game, head coach Kelvin Sampson told us in the media room that his heart hurt because Middle Tennessee played harder, was tougher, outscrapped his Cougs. And that has happened a few times. That has been said by players this season a few times during non-conference. Cougs are still 12-1, but one of the things about having so many freshmen / redshirt freshmen is it's much easier to say, hey, you got to play Houston Cougar basketball. You have to live up to Houston Cougars men's basketball standards. That's easy to say. But if you haven't done it before, you have to experience it. You got to do it. You got to learn how to do it. And especially as a true freshman, they've never done it before. They've never played hard all the time. Talk on defense. Be a string defensively. Know where you're supposed to be on the high screens. Know where you're supposed to be on rotations. You know, it's instinctive. You got to do it so much that it's second nature. So seeing Chris Cenac and Isaiah Harwell be a step slow on rotations, being like, where should I be on a switch? Should I switch? Should I not switch? They're learning how to do all those things. So the Houston Cougar defense so far has not lived up to previous defensive Houston Cougar teams. Why would it? So many new faces. So they have to grow and learn how to get better. Saying all that, attitude and effort. And the effort Monday against Middle Tennessee was not Cougar standards. It wasn't. The guys, just Christmas break, holiday break, whatever, they did not live up to the effort part of it. So getting outplayed, not hustled by an opponent, that just can't happen for the Cougs. Defensive mistakes, defensive breakdowns, you can live with those. But getting beat for 50-50 balls a lot in the first half, no. Just no. And as I said in the post-game show, let that be the last BS performance that they have for the rest of the season. It's time to go forward, wipe the slate clean, start Big 12 play this Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock against Cincinnati. So let me get back to the schedule as we'll look into that as well on this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break. And 12-1, they're still 12-1. It shows you how good they are, that we are harping on they're not living up to the standards and all these things, but they're 12-1. I mean, they're not doing this, they're not doing that, they're not as great as they were defensively, and they're still 12-1. I think we'll take that. All right. Women's team, after their loss to Iowa State yesterday, 6-7, 0-2 in Big 12. I don't, like I said, the bar I have for the team this year's women's team is win 2 games in Big 12. 2. Yesterday's performance against Iowa State gave me hope that they can get those 2. The loss to West Virginia, I was like, ooh, no. Ooh, 2 seems like it's not going to happen. So let's see what they do going forward starting this Saturday in Stillwater. Speaking of a team that got to get Prairie View men, losing by 29 against A&M on the road. It's not ideal. Their 14-point loss at LSU on the 22nd. Prairie View led at halftime of that game. Offense is not a problem for Prairie View's men's team. It looks like defense is going to be a problem. SWAC play starts with them on Saturday. We'll get into that momentarily. Prairie View women, first-year head coach Ty Dillard, do the best she can. SWAC play for them starts today. And I want to say like in an hour or so. I'll touch on that momentarily, get to the January schedules. But I wanted to touch on this. Rice Owls men's basketball, currently 6-8 after their 97-48 loss at Tulsa on New Year's Eve. 97-48. Tulsa scored the first 12 points of the game and never looked back. 97-48. Rice hosts Memphis this Saturday inside the House of Tudor at 2 o'clock. They got doubled up by Tulsa. Tulsa's 13-1 this year. But still, to lose by 49 points. Ooh, yeah. Contrast that with the Rice women's team that is 11-3 after their road opening win in conference play at South Florida by 2. Rice led by 7 or so the last couple of minutes, and the game was tied, and they held on and found a way to win the game. So that's a step forward, but they got to do a better job closing out victories. They are 11-3. Texas Southern men, thank goodness they're about to be in SWAC play because the 2-9 over non-conference record, the 2 wins were against non-Division I opponents. Yeah. You got their checks, though. Made the check games. Women's team, their first game of SWAC play is today, New Year's Day. Discussed that in just a few minutes. They are 4-8. A lot of their wins are against non-Division I opponents as well. So let's start looking at the January schedule for the H-Town teams that I cover. And you notice one team that is not among this group. As I stated, Cougs men's team. This Saturday game is on Fox, Big Fox, 1 o'clock Central at Cincinnati. Cincinnati's Jizzle Thomas returned to the team. He's back. The guard rotation is set. Baba Miller, big man, 21 rebounds in the last game. He's crashing the boards. So it's going to be a challenge for the Cougs, bigs and guards, to do a better job rebounding basketball against the Bearcats on Saturday. Cougs going to start 1-0 though. They're going to get that win and resume running the Big 12 as I said they did last year on Let's Rage Coogs. Women's team, touched on it. Game is Saturday, 3 o'clock, ESPN Plus, against the Cowgirls of Oklahoma State. Kind of seeing how if the Cougs can put together 2 good games. I'm not expecting them to win in Stillwater, but I am expecting them to play better and continue getting better and improving. Build on the performance against Iowa State and not resort to 20, 25, 30 turnovers this Saturday against Oklahoma State. Rice men, see if they have any pride. Oh, Prairie View, go Prairie View. I keep doing this. Prairie View. SWAC TV, Prairie View men, 4 o'clock at Grambling. Grambling is one of the top teams, men's teams in SWAC play. Grambling and Bethune-Cookman are top 2 teams non-conference. So that's going to be a test. It should be a high-scoring affair at Grambling. We'll see if Prairie View's defense can do it, get enough stops, and start conference play with a road win. PV women, SWAC TV this afternoon. SWAC TV is available on Roku, the streaming platform, I think Amazon, Fire TV, etc. So if you don't have SWAC TV, download SWAC TV. A lot of great games, a lot of content. for all the SWAC sports, football, basketball. SWAC TV debuted, I think, August 1st. Media days were on SWAC TV. Hundreds, I think 57 women's games will be on SWAC TV, conference play, and 52 or so men's games will be on SWAC TV. So if you are a fan of hoops, fan of HBCUs, support your favorite school, support the SWAC, and download SWAC TV. Rice, Memphis, both two disappointing teams in men's hoops. Memphis more so because they have higher expectations. But this Saturday, 2 o'clock at Rice. I'm kind of curious to see how both teams perform. I'll be watching the Cougs Cincinnati, but I'm going to have I'll keep a lookout on seeing how Rice does after getting embarrassed by 49-point loss to Tulsa. Tulsa's better, yes, but Tulsa. Rice women on the road at Florida Atlantic this Saturday, 1 o'clock on ESPN Plus. Game the Owls should win. The Rice Owls should win. Texas Southern men, first game at Southern this Saturday, 5 o'clock, also on SWAC TV. SWAC basketball conference play. The women's games are on Thursdays, solo by themselves. The men and women double hitters are on Saturdays, and the men are by themselves on Mondays. This would be, I think, year 2 of that format in the SWAC. TSU women today, 6:30 at Grambling, SWAC TV. So you can watch PV, Southern women at 2 o'clock on SWAC TV, and then TSU women against Grambling later on today on SWAC TV. Good luck to all the H-Town teams. This is the Houston Roundball Review. I try to keep up with and provide info and content on the H-Town teams, college and pro teams. I want to see all the teams do well, all of them. I would love 1 year for every H-Town college team to make the NCAA tournament, men and women. So that means the Houston Cougars men's team and women's team make the tournament. Rice men's team and women's team make the tournament. Prairie View, TSU men's and women's team make the tournament. HCU, both. That would be the ultimate for all of H-Town college teams to make the tournament. And then the Rockets decided to make the finals and, of course, lose to my Pistons. Detroit basketball. I digress. But back to it on today's edition, this Merry New Year edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the lunch break. I want to play this brief clip from Audi Crooks from Iowa State, and then probably go to play the BS3 promo, and then after that, come back with comments from Houston Cougars men's coach, Kelvin Sampson, on today's edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. But here, some comments from Audi Crooks, and my comment posting this is very intentional.
Honestly, I think my confidence, I've kind of shifted my mindset a little bit from, like you said, kind of from last year to this year. And I just realized I'm going to talk about my faith here, and I'm unashamed of that, but it's all for the glory of God. And I think my freshman and my sophomore year, I was really focused on proving myself and making sure that, I was doing well, and it was for me and it was for Iowa State. But this year I kind of realized that that's not what it's about. I have a talent, I have a gift that was given to me that I'm blessed with, so I'm not going to be afraid to use it. And I'm going to do everything that I can on the court and off the court to make sure that, I do everything with love, I do everything with grace, and I do everything to glorify God.
Audi Crooks, such a talented, gifted, special young lady, young woman. She is a great person. And I agree with you, and thank you for commenting, because we probably need more of this. And I'm not going to get on my podium, pedestal, whatever, but just treat people here. This is the first day of 2026. I believe we need to do a better job treating everybody with respect. Everybody, every background, religion, ethnicity, money status, everything. Don't fall into the trap of hating people who you never even met before because they look different than you or they think different than you, supposedly. Bottom of the hour, close to it, bottom of the hour, on today's edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, streaming on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel and also on Roku via the BS3 Network. I'm going to play the BS3 spot and be back in 90 seconds. I am again KG Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review, and you are watching the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, Throwback Thursday, and the show is powered by JM&E and via the BS3 Network.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
Welcome back to this Merry New Year edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break. Throwback Thursday. Takeover is powered by JM&E, streaming live on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel, and of course on Roku. Yes, on Roku, courtesy of BS3 Network. If you missed it, play some comments from Houston Cougars women's coach Matthew Mitchell, as well as Iowa State All-American Audi Crooks. And now I'm going to play some comments from Houston Cougars, two videos from Houston Cougars head coach, men's head coach, Kelvin Sampson, from Wednesday's Zoom media session. And really listen to what coach had to say. And then we'll talk more about his comments and look forward to the Cougs men's matchup this Saturday against the Bearcats inside Fifth Third Arena, 1 o'clock Central on Big Fox. First up, head coach Kelvin Sampson.
Well, last season didn't have a lot of shortcomings. That was arguably the best team in the country up to the last play of the season. So I wouldn't compare this team to that team at all. I think this team may compare more to some of the other teams. But this team has gotten better in certain areas. I don't think it has the thing that everything's so fluid. We're still working on, still trying to establish a day-to-day leader. In their own way, Ramon, Milos, Emmanuel, JoJo, they've all shown that, but none of them have done it day to day, where they're absorbing one of their teammates' fallacies and saying, that's not our standard. We got to do better. And I've always said that our best teams are always player-led, not coach-led. So just continue to work on that. Last year we played 40 games. We may or may not come close to that this year. We'll just have to see. But we haven't played. We've got 18 conference games, and we have one game for sure in the conference tournament. So right now we only have 19 games left versus the 13 we've played. So we're still searching for some things. At some point you're gonna have to find what you're looking for and get better at it. But we're still in the searching phase.
What do you think about those comments from head coach Kelvin Sampson? Really, he's challenging the upperclassmen, the seniors, to be more consistent leaders day to day. And honestly, it's not surprising, really, when you look at who they are. Emmanuel, Sharp, Ramon, JoJo, Milos being the newest of those four, of that foursome. Team leaders before was Juwan Roberts, Jamal Shed. Jamal was a leader. Jamal's mentality as a leader is different than Milos. Jamal, much more vocal leader. Just different makeup for guys. So Milos, this is his second year in the program. I look for Emmanuel to become more vocal, be more consistent day to day. And that takes time. It's not, you just can't become a great team leader overnight. So this is part of this year's maturation that they're going to continue to evolve and get better at. And they're probably, because of this, they're probably going to lose some games in Big 12 play. But the goal is still the same. I posted some comments from Milos Uzan as a YouTube short. You can catch it after you watch this show. And he said one of the things that the guards must do a better job of is rebounding missed shots, defensive rebounding by the guards. Coach Sampson has touched on that. That's true. When the bigs are doing a job boxing out around the basket and missed shots go long, think about this. Jamal Shed was a good rebounding guard. Nate Hinton was a fantastic rebounding guard. Quentin Grimes was a great rebounding guard. Jason DeRoe, a great rebounding guard. Of this current group of Cougs guards, who's the best rebounding guard? I heard a scout tell me a few years ago. That's a discussion, kicking it back, if I told you, described the guard and told you a couple things about this guard. He hustled, won a 50-50 balls, and was a great rebounder. What college did he play for? Oh, Houston. No doubt. That's a Houston guard. Who's that on this team? It's not Isaiah Harwell yet. Chase McCarty could be, but Chase is more of a 4 this year. Emmanuel Sharp averages 3 rebounds a game, but some of those because you get 4 one game, then 0, then 4 again, then 4, and there you go, your 3 rebounds per game. So the guards have to do a better job rebounding. You got to finish. Defensive possession ends with the rebound, with the missed shot. You make a miss, get the rebound, because you keep allowing your opponent to get those second and third chances, and chances are they're going to score eventually. Mercy could be that guy. He has done a better job rebounding. And Mercy's offense, he missed shots last year. His defense was not very good last year, but everybody else's defense was. This year, his defense has gotten better. His offense continues to get better, but so does his rebounding. So if Mercy becomes that guard and rebounds, great. It's needed. They're going to have to rebound from the guard spot, period. Got to help out the bigs. Because JoJo not doing a great job so far rebounding. I think he's rounding into shape physically, because I've done a poor job of reminding people, and heck, myself included, that JoJo spent most of the summer recovering from injury. So he hasn't been 100%, probably wasn't until October So he's getting himself up to his shape and Cougar standards. Khalifa Sacco was playing very well, then he got injured. So they're missing his presence, his size, his physicality, his rebounding. He may play Saturday, maybe, or Tuesday home against Texas Tech. He's getting close to returning. Saw him a little bit Wednesday after practice. Everybody's walking around. So he's getting closer. So that'll help as well. But it's just one of those things. A lot of new faces on the team. A lot of guys banged up. You know, Manuel Sharp, that tough mind mentality. He hurt his finger, sprained his finger in practice. He crashed to the court Monday 2 or 3 times. Had the heating wrap, massage wrap on his back. Winced in pain, grimaced. After the game, how are you, man? I'm good. I'm good. I'm fine. Yesterday, ask him, man, how you doing? I'm fine. It's a contact sport. I'm good. That's the mentality he has. He could be in pain, but he's like, I'll just overcome it. It's no big deal. Good lead in, Mr. Big Text Code. Thank you for joining the conversation and watching today's takeover. Do I think it is because JoJo does a lot of switching out on the guards, so he's out of position? It's interesting you bring that up because Coach Sampson, in this next clip, he comments on Chris Cenac and Chris is not yet having a money move. And why would he as a freshman? You know, so don't compare him to Juwan Roberts, who had money moves, but Juwan was here for 5-6 years. But Coach also talks about chasing space and what to do on rebounds and long rebounds. So listen to this next clip as I pull it up on this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, Throwback Thursday style, powered by JM&E.
Yeah. Oh, there's some of this is hard to explain. And I don't even know if I'm smart enough to even start it, but you know, the best comparison I guess would be like I watched a session this morning on all our made baskets, the second half against 2 or 3 teams, just to see what we were doing and what we're looking at. And the thing that you notice is J1, where he is, and you know, he had a money shot, a money move that if you took that away, he knew how to get to his counter. So the game was real simple for him. The game's is not simple for Chris. It can get challenging. His instinct for certain things is not like J1's. But that's an very unfair comparison, but that's also gives you a little bit of a deep dive into what we're dealing with from a instinctive, just basic understanding of chasing space. You know, if we get an offensive rebound and the ball goes back out, you can't stand where you are. You've got to go chase space. Chasing space means you got to get to where you are. If you're a 4, you can't stay in the paint. That means now we have 2 because JoJo's going to be somewhere around there. You know, if you catch the ball in the low block, what's your move? You know, we've been working on this stuff since June. You know, you gotta have something you can hang your hat on. But what is it you're doing? What is your money move? So whereas with past teams, never worried about that, because they had one. They'd had one for 3 or 4 years. You know, we're still developing some guys, and it's easy to sit there when you've never played and say, well, why doesn't he have one? Because he doesn't. You say, well, why not? That's not the way it works. Some guys' instincts are better than others. Some guys are better facing the basket, even though they may be 6'11". They may be 6'8". So if you're 6'8", you should be on the low block. Says who? What chapter in the book was that one? I didn't read that book. So when you have a player that doesn't have not necessarily a go-to, but it's not as easy for him yet. He's still trying to get there. A lot of your possessions will look good. Some of them maybe not so good because of the experience thing.
What do you think about that, Mr. Big Texco? Does that clear up some of it? Your question for you as well. Chris, I hope to play. He said it real briefly to us Wednesday after practice. He's still developing a counter move when defenses take away his first move in the mid post. He's still working on a counter move. I mean, that makes sense. He's 18 years old, and he didn't really have to do that before. His most comfortable shot that he has right now is probably the mid post in the face up, the quick and pop. He's not a low post guy right now. He may not become a low post option until his NBA career 3 years from now. But I think more pick and rolls and him as a pick and pop guy, as you said in your statement, I think that'll be something we see more in conference. He's comfortable much more facing the basket right now than he is with his back to the basket. So I think it may not show up on Saturday, but I think soon, when I say soon, I think it will show up in Big 12 play during these next 18 conference games in regular season, and then hopefully 3 more in the tournament, 3 or 4 in the Big 12 tournament. There will be a couple of games these next 20 or so where you're like, that's the Chris Cenac that everybody was talking about, who highly touted. Yeah, that's the money shot he's been working on. That's it. You see the confidence coming out. That's it. I'm looking forward to Saturday's game for him. It'd be his first Big 12 true road game. Yes, playing Auburn in Birmingham in front of 16,000 people. That's qualify as a road game, but that's not a Big 12 road game. So how will he do? How will Kingston do? How will Isaiah Harwell do? How will Chase McCarty do? That's 4 guys right there. That Cougs are really counting on this year. So I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'm looking forward to the opportunity. This journey is going to be different because this is a different team. It's a more talented team individually than last year's team, but it does not have experience in key spots like last year's team. So this year's team is learning and evolving at a different pace than last year's team. Combine that with the injuries to JoJo, to Khalifa, the aches and pains that Emmanuel has, the aches and pains that Milos dealt with that wasn't really, he didn't make it a big deal too much, but all the travel he did during the summer and working out for the NBA team took a toll on him physically as well. So Coach Sampson rested him some during September and October. So he's getting back up to his 100% physically as well. All of that. And some of those things that I just shared with you, members of the Houston Roundball Review YouTube members only section already knew. So, segue. In this day 1 of 2026, in the year of our Lord, become a Houston Roundball Review YouTube members only member, either at the All League tier or the All World tier. $2.99 per month for the All League tier, $4.99 per month for the All World tier. The key thing for both tiers, early access to new videos, is early access to new content. And let me say this. Put my shiny bald head back on the big screen. Yesterday evening, I shared an update regarding Houston Athletics and the Big 12 private capital deal. I learned a few things Wednesday and Tuesday. If you want to know more, you need to become a member. It's about a 5-6 minute video where I shared some more details and insight regarding the Houston Athletics and the private capital / private equity deal. It's not necessarily a foregone conclusion. Become a member. So one more time, click on that join button, depending on where you're watching. Scan this QR code, or click on the link in the description below the video on YouTube as you're watching on YouTube, and become a member. Simple way to support the Houston Roundball Review that way also. All right, final moments here. I want to get into the Big 12 Players of the Week. Pretty simple. This past week, BYU's AJ DeBonsa swept the awards. AJ earned his first career Big 12 Men's Basketball Player of the Week and Newcomer of the Week awards after notching his first career triple-double in BYU's 109-81 win over Eastern Washington. He posted only the second 30-point triple-double in Big 12 history and the first of the points, rebounds, assists variety. He finished with 33 points, 10 rebounds, and a career-high 10 assists, making him the first Power Conference freshman to post a triple-double this season. DeBonsa has back-to-back games of 30 points, the first BYU Cougar to accomplish the feat since 2018. And he's the first Big 12 freshman to start his career with 13 consecutive double-digit scoring games since Trae Young. Trae Young is making NBA news for different reasons since in 2017-18. While these mark his first weekly awards of the season, AJ was previously honored 4 times on the Big 12 starting 5, which honors strong performances from across the league. DeBonsa was joined on this week's starting 5 by Baylor's Tunde Yesufu, Cincinnati's Baba Miller, Iowa State's Joshua Jefferson, and Texas Tech's Christian Anderson. And lo and behold, don't you know, the Cougs are facing Baba Miller in Cincinnati on Saturday before facing Christian Anderson and Texas Tech on Tuesday. Life in the Big 12. Tunde Yesufu helped Baylor become the first Power Conference team since 1996-97 to score 110 plus points in 3 consecutive games in a 124-61 win over Arlington Baptist, while becoming the first Baylor player with a stat line of 28 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and 6 steals in a single game. Baba Miller had 11 points and 21 rebounds, the most for a Big 12 player this season, while adding 7 assists in the Bearcats' 89-62 win over Lipscomb. Yes, Lipscomb is not the Houston Cougars. We all know that. But 21 rebounds is still 21 rebounds. So I'm looking forward to what he does against Houston's front court and vice versa this Saturday, starting at 1 o'clock on Big Fox. Joshua Jefferson had his 5th 20-point game of the season, scoring 23 with 7 rebounds and 5 assists in an 89-61 win over Houston Baptist. Christian Anderson scored 29 points in an 87-57 win over Winthrop, adding 6 rebounds and 5 assists to his ledger, entering the top 25 nationally in scoring. So his matchup with Kingston Flemings and Milos Uzan will be fun on Tuesday. Oh, I love Big 12 basketball. Man, I'm looking forward to all of this. Mr. Big Texco, appreciate you. Thank you very much. Appreciate that support. This platform I'm using on the Takeover is a little bit different than a studio we use for Let's Rage Coogs. So I saw your comment. On the other platform, I hear a bell notifying a new member. So I saw it, thankfully, that I saw it. So thank you very much and hope you enjoy the content. And be sure you watch yesterday's video and share your comments. Let me know what you thought on that as well. Tony, happy Merry New Year to you too, Tony. Merry New Year. So back at it. Here's the starting five summary. Tunde Yesufu from Baylor. AJ DeBonsa of BYU, one player and newcomer of the week. Baba Miller from Cincinnati. Joshua Jefferson, Iowa State. And Christian Anderson from Texas Tech. So there we go on that. And that, now I'm going to shift to the American. And just touch on this because this is from a Rice Isle perspective. Because Tulsa, David Green from Tulsa, had a hand in Tulsa's 97-48 butt whooping of the Rice Owls men's team on New Year's Eve. David Green was player of the week for the conference for week 8 in the American. And this is before they thumped Rice by 49 points. Tulsa is now 13-1, but Green helped the Golden Hurricane improve to 12-1 on the season with a 90-85 win over Denver on Monday by scoring 23 points on 8 of 9 shooting with 3 boards and 2 steals in just under 20 minutes of action. E.J. Horton from North Texas recorded 12 points, including a SportsCenter top 10 dunk, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds in the Mean Green's win over University of Science and Arts. That's a thing. Okay, that's a school. That must be Oklahoma's equivalent to Houston's College of Biblical Studies. Okay. Anyway, on women's side, Tulsa's Maddie Cartwright and Rice's Molly Gwynn. There you go. But I want to get back to this because I want to acknowledge everyone before we close it out. Appreciate you as well, Mr. Big Texco, for the support. Thank you for those kind words. Reminder, well, hopefully, after tonight's Rockets-Brooklyn game, which Rockets should win. It's a road game. Rockets should win. Will be my first of this season Let's Talk Houston Rockets show. Those will be sporadic, probably until after the Cougs play. Then pick that up on a more regular basis once the Houston Cougars season is over. But join me tonight on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel for Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Added a few things to unveil on that show with the new streaming platform that hope to unveil on tonight's show. We'll discuss it. So join me, Rocket fans, for that. And that pretty much will do it on today's edition of the Takeover. As at last glance, I saw that Texas Tech was trailing 6-0 to Oregon in the bowl game today. I really hope Tech comes back and wins, repping the Big 12. I'm enjoying immensely the struggles of the SEC teams in these bowl games, and which I'm sure the SEC fans say they don't mean anything after their team loses those bowl games. But if their team won those games, they're important for the next season, blah, 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 building on winning habits for next year. Mm-hmm. But if they lose, they don't matter. Don't mean anything whatsoever. But I would love to see Miami and Texas Tech in the CFP title game. That'd be a team from the Big 12 and a team from the ACC. So no team from the Big 10 nor the SEC. That's my hope. Let's see if Miami's halfway there. Let's see if Tech can get to the semifinals like Miami. Oh, Willie Gibson. Hey, Willie. See you on Sunday, man. Folks Talking Sports. That'll do it for this edition of the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E. The takeover today of Throwback Thursday, streaming live on YouTube via the Houston Roundball Review channel, and also on Roku via the BS3 Network. Merry New Year to everyone. I hope you saw the thumbnail and you know what that's from. Classic movie. Merry New Year, or Happy New Year. Y'all gonna be boring. Join us, me, Andy, Dayon, and Fluff, this Saturday after the Cougs men's game against Cincinnati for the Let's Rage Coogs post-game show. But if you're a Rockets fan, or if you're just a fan of me and these shows, join me Thursday night after the Rockets Nets game for Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Subscribe to this channel. Subscribe, tell your friends about the show, tell your friends about how to become a member via the Houston Roundball Review YouTube membership section. There is early access to new videos and new content. So please join me, support either tier, the All League tier or the All World tier. All League, $2.99. The All World, $4.99. Or if you want to become a member or you want to add to your support of the Roundball Review, you can also order some merch. You're a Coug supporter, you can order you a Once a Coug, Always a Coug t-shirt, long sleeve shirt, hoodie, pants. Or if you want to support the Roundball Review, you can order a Roundball Review mug. The one you see on screen is a new one. I got the original, the OG mug. You can order the Roundball Review hoodie or a Roundball Review sweatshirt or long sleeve shirt or long sleeve shirt. So different ways to support the Roundball Review. Scan that QR code. Click on the links as well. There should be a few links rotating throughout the show also. So that would do it. Thank you to Ben and everyone at the BS3 Network. Thank you to AJ Jones for allowing me this platform to share my information, and opinions with everyone here on the Houston Roundball Review Takeover. And that'll wrap it up. Since 1994, the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective. Everyone have a prosperous 2026. Take care. Peace.